So Universal Peace Federation started in 2005. Last year we did a 20-year anniversary. And it's an international NGO, and it's been working with the United Nations for most of its time. There we go. So our headquarters is in New York, and their work with the United Nations is quite central to our UPF activity. And many times we've supported through UN days, United Nations days. So recently was the World Interfaith Harmony Week. I know in Birmingham you had a major event, didn't you? And we had a much smaller event down in the cafe downstairs. And I wanted to go here. Towards the end of the video you watched, the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, he gave a summary of why UPF is, he said, a cornerstone of peace, because we have a good model of reaching out to all areas of society. And then he listed this multi-sectoral approach to peace. So if politicians, they sign a peace treaty mediated by another nation or by groups of nations, then there is a tenuous strength to that peace. Of course, maybe the fighting stops. But the hurt, the grieving, the pain, the suffering, the rebuilding, the destruction that's happened because of that war, it needs everyone to be involved to really genuinely resolve the peace between two nations or two peoples. So if it's only the politicians or only a group of politicians, it's a very weak structure of peace. But if you involve all of these wider groups of parliamentarians, religious leaders meeting together, having interfaith meetings, having groups meeting together to have media discussions on the issues between their nations, to have academics researching, giving the roots of the friendship of those nations over decades and centuries, to have business researching how they can make a mutual prosperity between the two nations. Then culture reaches beyond politics, beyond words. So the International Association of Arts and Culture for Peace has a major role, and UPF has come on the foundation. Has come on the foundation of many decades of work by the founders of Universal Peace Federation in the arts and culture. So thinking of the Little Angels who came here last summer, or thinking of Universal Ballet. We had the Go Well Brass Band here in the UK. But there are many initiatives that our founders have taken in arts and culture because they can reach beyond national boundaries. When the Little Angels went to North Korea to perform together with a little girls' dancing troupe from North Korea. So they performed together and moved the hearts of the people of Pyongyang. This was really amazing initiative, having these arts and culture as an initiative for peace. So youth also, to bring young people together, to make a new start, doing joint service projects or doing joint things, sports. These things can then feed into a generation or more of peacemaking. And women also, as we say, women have a unique gift for peacemaking, learned by bringing their children together many times and teaching peace within the family, but there is an innate compassion and an area where peace initiatives can really flourish. So bringing women together from those warring nations can be an amazing initiative. So UPF tries to bring all of these initiatives together. So we have a General Consultative Status within the United Nations. And that means that we have many platforms upon which the United Nations initiatives can be brought to the grassroots level. Special consultative status means that there are a few platforms, a few programs. General means that we have many. Over the last 6 months, International UPF has been putting out many statements showing how we support United Nations initiatives. And these are other groups with this general consultative status. There was a very good relationship with the former Pope. So there was a private papal audience, etc. But that was based on regular interfaith work in Argentina of a local branch, Argentinian branch of Universal Peace Federation, doing interfaith work, and they got to know the person who became the Pope at a later stage. So these meetings happened. Ban Ki-moon also went through the different associations. Here we held an International Council for Peace program. It's a webinar of the different senior European Union figures, which is quite an amazing level. And Rita Payne, who lives here in London, was a long time involved with BBC Asia. She was the editor of BBC for Asia. She was moderating. The founder or co-founder of Universal Peace Federation, Mother Moon, Dr. Hak Cha Han Moon, she spoke in Parliament about 14, 15 years ago. And this was the program, together with Dr. Walsh and Lord King, who came from Birmingham, who's an amazing man. Here are some of the interreligious activities in Birmingham. This was maybe a couple of years ago. Here's one we held here, London. Again, World Interfaith Harmony Week, National Interfaith Week. These are key interfaith dates within the UK in November and early February. We held some IMAP conferences, International Media Association for Peace, again, looking at religious freedom issues and how media can play a role in the protection of religious minorities. This is one for academics, looking at how Europe can play a role in the search for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Business and AI, looking at how business can incorporate AI and other digital platforms in a way which is reliable and trustworthy. This is an upcoming International Association of Arts and Culture for Peace on the 31st of March, which will particularly look at Nepal and also learning through stories, because people have stories, the stories of their lives, and it's often informed by their culture. So we've had many women's events. I know in Birmingham we've had many. We also here in central London, in Parliament, etc. We've had many events over the years, but this is an example of one. Also, we've been very active on social media. If you want to follow us on Facebook, you'll find out many things that are going on here in the UK and around the world. This was another academic event looking at the perspectives of the Global South. Often we are quite comfortable in the UK. We've been protected by many of the difficulties that have blighted the world. So to have perspectives from other parts of the world is really, it stimulates, it motivates you how to do more, how to direct your efforts for peacemaking, for humanitarian activities, etc. Another one we had was an IMAP event in Media Association for Peace, looking at, again, and we had a very sobering article from Bahrain, because one of the speakers was the chair of the Bahrain Daily News. He said, the West should listen more and lecture less, which is a good summary of that particular session. So these are some of the events, and this is how we're trying to mirror what's happening on international level, on a local level, and this broad multi-sectoral approach to peace that we're all part of, that we can make and grow these different associations so they can play a role in peacemaking. Some of our advisors are actually involved in back-channel Track 2 diplomacy. Does anyone know what Track 2 diplomacy is? Anyone? No one's heard. Okay, good. So Track 2 diplomacy, Track 1 diplomacy is government to government. So when there's a preemptively or when there's a post-war situation to really solidify peace, then through a peace treaty, there's a Track 1 diplomacy. So governments will send their foreign secretaries to negotiate. Track 2 is one step below. So it's usually covert. It's usually between people who have the government's ear. But they can reflect government's opinion, but they have the freedom to explore how to find peace. What is the other side's red lines? What is it they can't do? Where is it they have flexibility? Maybe we can compromise. Where is it that we can build peace? And those Track 2 diplomacy initiatives are really instrumental in the final peace initiative, because you find out the framework of a peace treaty in a way which is not exposed to the media and to people and to populists, etc. So many of those take painstaking years of trust building, but some of our advisors, are involved not through us, but they are involved in Track 2 diplomacy in the Middle East. But also there's inter-community efforts which we are also undertaking, where there's community tensions which need to be preemptively looked at and de-risked is the word, so that risk of violence between different communities is taken away. With that, I'm going to finish.